Will having oil gas stocks be a good place to be over the next year? I have no idea. I mean, I can give you a, a great argument for why they would be, and I can give you a great argument as to why they wouldn't be. So, why they would be is on the supply side of the equation. Why they wouldn't be would be on the demand side of the equation. And when I'm talking about the demand side, just look at the yield curve and you'll know exactly what I'm referring to. So that would imply that demand is going to decrease significantly. That said, you're dealing with two commodities that have very inelastic demand. And I'd also suggest for the supply side, listening to my good buddy Eric Townsend on Macro Voices, who is an expert in oil, and he'll tell you that the supply side just isn't going back to what it was in 2019. So if we do have, even if we do go into a recession, if it's mild, we have a soft landing, and you combine that with China opening back up, you could see a huge spike in price just because even OPEC Plus, they can talk about increasing the amount of barrels they produce all they want. But the bottom line is they can't even run it at maximum capacity right now, or the maximum capacity in which they say they're trying to run. So just to give you an example, if OPEC comes out and says, okay, our cap on supply that we're going to produce is 100 barrels. Well, they can't even produce that. They're only producing like 90. And these aren't exact numbers. I'm just using this as an example. But I forgot what they call the target. Eric would know this, but it's the supply. I'll think about it in a moment. But effectively, it's when OPEC Plus comes out and says, "Hey, we're going to put a target on the amount of supply we're going to produce," but most of the OPEC countries aren't even producing at that level. And the way they hit the aggregate total is that one of the big boys like Saudi Arabia produces more, and so they kind of hit their nut. But bottom line is supply is most likely going to be very constrained moving forward. So that would be the bull side argument on the supply issues, and the bear argument would be on the demand side when you look at the yield curve predicting that we'll have a pretty severe recession in 2023. I think their target quotas is how OPEC Plus phrases it, if I'm not mistaken.